What's going on, guys? Corrupt here. Got a regular commentary for you. What the hell? That's been a while. And it's about tanks too. That's awesome. First commentary I ever did, I think, was on the whole damn Van Peak, talking about tanks. That's a long time ago. That's a few patches ago. That's back when I was running thermal, I think. You try to run thermal now, you get your ass blown apart by a javelin in about 2 seconds. But anyway, we're going to talk about a little bit about tactics. No armored kills coming up, a lot of tank warfare in that. Hopefully the maps will be a little bit bigger than Damn Van Peak, you know, straight line. That's always fun. Nothing like tank warfare in a tunnel, huh? But anyway, talking about tactics for tanks. My first video I ever did, I talked about my tactics for Damn Van Peak. Haven't changed much. Essentially, the tank should bypass Alpha or Charlie. Get to Bravo as soon as you can. Get back in a little corner. Cut your target, you know, give them a limited sight profile. You want to hide the most vulnerable parts of your tank, and if you get damaged, you want to be able to give the people repairing you safety, so you don't have to worry about getting shot in the face by RPGs. The main thing you have to worry about in this part of the map is a cluster of RPGs that are going to be coming at you, and this game is a good example of that, because there is just a massive wave of RPGs that come firing at me. And I'll be joining the tank in a second by good friend of mine, Johnny B. And in certain parts of this game, Johnny B is actually the one that saves his tank. It just becomes overwhelming, the amount of fire we get. And he's the one that hops out and repairs and saves the day, really. And saves us from more deaths than we actually earn. Because we could have got quite a few. But basically the idea is, on Damn Van Peak for me, is proximity sensor, roam around Bravo. Either way, if you're coming from Alpha, you get to Bravo and you roam, essentially to keep the tunnels, which is really the only cover anybody has. You want to keep those free of enemies. You don't want them to go leak around and get to the rocks. You don't want snipers to get past you and put beacons up. In this case here, you only really, if it works out properly, the only thing you have to worry about is a chopper dropping people off, and that's what happens here, I believe. As the chopper got past us and dropped everybody, couple guys off on Alpha. Quickly go back and handle. The reason why I left Bravo is because the enemy hadn't brought their tank up yet, and I hadn't seen it spotted or heard any call-outs for it, in-game chatter, anything like that. So I rolled back to cap Alpha since we didn't have anybody else back here. I really don't like doing that, especially leaving that position, because then you can just have a whole flood of people coming through and getting through the tunnels, and everybody gets tunnel vision at some point, which is fitting since it's all nothing but tunnels. But the idea is you're always looking forward. Don't really pay attention to what's behind you or to your left. You're basically looking for the threat in front of you, and that's what happens a lot here. You see quite a few times that my teammates will just get wiped out. There's a lot of blue skull and crossbones on this map. Several times you'll see at least 4 or 5 guys just getting mowed down. Johnny B, like I said, his moment to shine is going to start here shortly. You see the RPG fire coming in, and apparently steps block tank shells and saves a couple guys' lives. The enemies, Johnny B taking fire and actually end up saving it by blasting some guys' face apart. But here's where their flanking really pays off. As I said before, our guys are down. I didn't really move. I should have moved into the middle position and used a proximity scan to cover both tunnels. And that's really the point I want to make if you're playing Damn Van Peak or any kind of close, I don't want to say close quarters, but like a Sharky Rush, if you're attacking. Any map where you're the one tank, you know, like Firestorm, Caspian, your tank dies, big deal, go get another one. But if you got the one tank and you go down, an enemy hasn't brought theirs up yet, you're basically letting them blow right through your team. And as you see here, I'm not really mopping the floor with them, but a tank can certainly be a lot more effective than a couple guys with RPGs, just for holding a point and being the main attraction for any enemies, allowing your team to get behind. These guys did cap A on us and flank us from the left side, you see. And again, Johnny B goes hunting. But yeah, that's the idea, is I should have do what I'm doing right now. Move in the middle, back and forth, bob and weave kind of thing, proximity setup. And that's the strong point of tanks. That's basically how I win in tanks. I've always been the distraction. I've done videos about me being a distraction. That's what I like to do. I don't have to be the one PTFOing. I can be doing it by proxy, by just going out there and just wrecking face. That's the most fun. Everybody knows kills are fun. If you can do it and win at the same time, that's what I like. Again, stats aren't everything, but win-loss is KD. If they were like what, below 1 on each one, would you pay attention to me? I mean, would you listen to a guy doing tactics if he was subpar, negative stats, below 1? I wouldn't, honestly. The guys I listen to on YouTube for tactics, their stats, I'm not gonna say they really, I don't go looking for them, just put it that way. But if they mention them, I want them to be truthful and tell me it's, I got a 2 KD or 1 KD, but my win-loss is this and this. That makes sense to me. If your win-loss is like 3 and your KD is below 1, I get it. You're still out there grinding for the win, and that's fine. If you're running around trolling people like I do occasionally, your win-loss doesn't mean much because you're doing it for entertainment. But I'll do the trolling thing. I still want to win. That's why when it comes to tank warfare, especially like I said in the maps we only have 1 tank, I'm cocky enough and confident enough to be the guy that says, okay, I want the tank. The reason why is because I feel I'll be the most effective. The ground game maybe not be the strongest thing for me. I know some guys that I play with are much better on the ground than I am. I'm decent, I'm not gonna lie. I am a cocky son of a bitch when it comes to that. I'm effective, put it that way, but I'm much more effective in a tank. Not saying the guys that I play with aren't just as effective, but again, it's the pride thing. I think I can do pretty much anything. Now, since the patches have nerfed the repair tool times, I do depend more on guys like Johnny B. Johnny B is a solid player, strong player, but he understands the threats we face in this map. Like if the other guys on our team were to get in the tank, and what if they don't go down with the ship? What if they bail? Well, now we got the enemy with 2 tanks, and then we're screwed on this map. Now their tank finally makes a push, finally starts coming up. Engage in tank warfare. We take so many RPGs. Johnny B can't keep up. So essentially it's, get back in the tank, stay here, we're going to die, just deal with it. But we're going to adapt. And that's another main thing you need to do in these kind of games is adapt. The guy that killed us was running reactive, smoke, and guided. Now guided in these close quarter situations, I can easily duck out of the way of it. So I go reactive, Johnny B goes proximity. I usually run proximity, so I change it to reactive for the armor warfare aspect. Because the guy on the tank was pretty good. Now the issue we have here is we died, so they come back, they cap an A, either parachute drop or snuck through a tunnel. I'm running reactive now. The guy that gets in my tank is not Johnny B, it's just random blueberry. He doesn't have proximity on. He's not paying attention. I'm not paying attention. I'm used to relying on proximity. I'm looking at the sky trying to kill a chopper, and the guy puts C4 on us, almost kills us. But luckily, reactive saves us. And the guy does hop out and repairs us, and I think Johnny B goes on and try to cap the flag. And as the blueberry torch runs out, I hop in, get us moving, repair again. I know their tank's coming. Johnny B called it out. So essentially, it's back to armored warfare, war of attrition. Who can repair faster? He's got guided. He's relying on guided too much. The first shot got me because of like a sound glitch. I couldn't hear it. And I really don't pay attention to the lock tone on the top left corner there. I don't really pay attention to that. You look at that, you'll get killed by something else. So we eventually take him out. He was the biggest threat. Now essentially we're going to push forward and try to mop up anybody who's lingering, because your biggest threat now is 1, the chopper, 2, spawn beacons. They get a little bit too sloppy, and I think the guy suicides by touching that mountain on Damn Van Peak. The no-go, he dies. So now it's just free run to Bravo. You're mopping up, at least if you can, spot everybody. Get to Bravo, peek your position. You want to poke out there and nullify their best shots on you, let's put it that way. You don't want them to be able to shoot you in the ass. That's basically it. This guy here was trying to be clever, and I don't know why he didn't run, but he gets a tank shell for his troubles there. Again, neutralize their spawn points. It goes for any kind of gameplay, it goes for any kind of tank warfare, but especially on these maps where you get 1 tank or an Amtrak or something like that, needs to be the priority. These guys early on were making killing me a priority when it became harder than it should have been. They didn't adapt well. They adapted later than they should have. If this game had been higher ticket count, these guys probably would have been a lot closer game. But turns out that my team finally pulls it together, understands that the threats are surrounding them, not just in front of them. Me and Johnny B hold it down. Gotta give a little shout out to Johnny B. That guy has been keeping me alive in tanks for longer than I'd like to admit. Now that the patch has come out, I tend to point my tank barrel to the sky too much, and it's a habit I gotta break, to be honest. But again, armor kills coming out soon. We look forward to that, especially since me and Fats are mainly vehicle guys, and me especially, tanks and all that kind of stuff. New vehicles with unlocks. I think tank destroyers. That'll be fun. So guys, I want to thank you for watching. This has been Corrupt, my little tactics vid. Thank you guys for watching again. I think I go, what, 23-1? That's right. That's how 11 Bravo Gaming does it. Or at least part of us. When Johnny B helps keep me alive. You know. Peace.